We're sitting in the amphitheater, the Teatro Romano, the Roman theater. So we were talking about also in Malaga that they also have a theater just like this, and a third of it is gone because the Muslims took the materials to make the Alcazaba right above it. And then you were talking about the Hadrian's Wall.
Well, Hadrian's Wall in England, in the northern part of England, used to be about 8-10 feet tall for miles and miles and miles, and it was to keep out the crazy Scots, I think, because Hadrian, he had it built. The Romans built it. But now it's only about 3 feet tall because many of the surrounding farmers took the stone to build their barns and build their houses. So,
yep.
But there's there's remains of it, so you can see it for quite a while.
So recycling material along the way.
Yep. And that's always been the case.
Okay, so then what were we talking about? The gladiators. Okay, so over there is a plaque, and we took a picture of it because it's explained so concisely and wonderfully, and Shanae is going to read it.
The fights in pairs or groups usually take place in the afternoon. Normally, a referee and his assistant ensure the rules of the fight were obeyed, using a staff if necessary. Iguala, Berbera, Missus means kill him, beat him, pardon him. The public would shout this, according to the writer Seneca.
The gladiators would be down here performing. Many of them were slaves. They didn't want to do it. It was death or death here. So they chose to fight it out and get their freedom. But the gladiators would go down and they would fight with sword or javelin or chains or whatever, lions or tigers or bears, oh my, really.
Yeah.
But the sad, terrible part of it is that often they were fighting the Christians. They killed many, many Christians in the early AD. Just because of their beliefs. Kill them, beat them, pardon them. And that was all the people sitting around.
The public,
thirsty.
Yeah, the public would yell that.
It was called the Circus Maximus. And this would be so excited to come and watch this gruesome stuff. Here we're at the theater, and this is a stage, and of course all the seating, and that's where they held plays, dramas. They enjoyed, their life was entertainment, the ones that could afford it. The elite, their life was entertainment. And so both areas were filled to the maximus, I suppose, for things for them to do and see. David was just down on the stage, and we're way up in the auditorium here. He says, "Can you hear me?" And I says, "Yeah. Can you hear me?" "Yes, we can." Because there was no microphones or anything like that, of course, at that time. So they built the acoustics beautifully, so the actors could be heard in every part of the auditorium. But it was also kind of an event center. Conferences, assemblies, meetings.
Right, you can see the Roman Los Milagros aqueduct, used to lead water coming from the Proserpina Roman reservoir.
Gorgeous.
Very impressive. Oh, this is the Temple of Diana, and it was built in the Roman times, and then the Moors took it over before they built the Alcazaba, which was their palace over on the river. So they took that over, this over in the 1100s, and there's evidence of minarets, or I don't know, it was part of the palace. And then the Visigoths, who were the Germanic tribe that took over Spain in, what was it? 400s to the 700s.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
400s to the 700s. They also made this into their residence, the higher ups that were in power. And then when they started restoring it in the 1800s, they decided to start turning it back into the temple, and they decided just to leave everything as it was, just restore it as those 3 time periods.
Wow.
Very, very, very well-preserved structure.
Yeah, you know, the ancient buildings, we just think they're stone, but they were first made of stone, but then most of them were plastered. Even the pyramids were plastered. And we think of, well, they didn't like color, evidently, but they had vivid colors on a lot of their buildings. It's just that through antiquity, through the thousands of years, the sun has burnt it off or has just decayed and
Crumbled.
fallen off. Yeah. So,
Yep. So, but here you can see that it was enclosed, and this is kind of how Roman structures actually looked back
oh
then.
yeah, it had a roof. It had walls.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And those Corinthian pillars is what held probably it all up.
So, do you know what's behind us?
Al-Khazari.
Al-Khazaba.
That's right.
Yes.
A huge complex of intricate design and architecture.
Which we didn't make. We got the multi-museum pass, and we were planning on coming here, and we just never did it. Didn't have time.
No.
Darn it.
How many of those buggers can you see?
I know it. We saw one in Malaga. I think we're good.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Hola.
And there's the sunset. It's absolutely beautiful. It was very hot today, and then now it cooled down to a beautiful 75 degrees. And so, of course, everybody comes back out after the long siesta when it's super brutally hot.
Did you explain what the siesta was?
Yeah, the siesta is between 2 and 5 p.m. where everything closes up because it's so hot. And then everything opens up at 5 o'clock, and the town comes alive again.
Nice night. Good meal. Well fed. Tired. I can't tell you how tired I
I don't
am.
think Mom's got any words left in her. Lydia, you want to? Aren't you glad I talked you into walking over here?
Yes.
Because she said I talk her into everything because I know what she needs to see. Right?
Yes.
Reactions to this beauty, Dad?
All the girls around me are beautiful.